Welcome everybody, and thank you for joining today's session on rent repayment orders. My name is Joanie Higson, and this is the UK Landlord Network, a community full of landlords who want to take it seriously and educate themselves to ensure they are limiting risks in the minefield of what we know is landlording. In this session today, we are going to explain what rent repayment orders are, why they matter, and what's changing with the new Renters' Rights Bill. By the end of this training, you will know the following: when tenants can apply for rent repayment orders, how much they can claim back, what's changing under the new laws, and most importantly, how you can protect, limit your risks and stay compliant. Right, let's get into it. What is a rent repayment order? A rent repayment order, or RRO, is a legal order made by first-tier tribunal that requires a landlord to repay the rent to the tenant. Tenants can claim if a landlord commits certain housing offences. Local councils can also apply if public money was paid for housing costs. The tribunal decides how much rent must be repaid up to a maximum allowed. Currently, tenants can claim up to 12 months of rent even if they're in arrears. Under the new bill, this will rise to 24 months. Let's talk about why they exist. Rent repayment orders were introduced in 2016 and designed to penalise rogue landlords and protect tenants. But even well-managed landlords can get caught out if they miss licence requirements or fail to comply with regulations. They are also in place to encourage compliance in properties. Right, let's look at the current law. Right now, tenants can claim a rent repayment order if the landlord commits one of the following offences: letting out an unlicensed HMO, letting out without a selective licence where required, breaching licence conditions, breaching a banning order, ignoring an improvement notice or prohibition order, illegal eviction or harassment, using violence to secure entry, breaching an existing rent repayment order. Let's look at this case study. A landlord rented out a 5-bedroomed HMO but didn't apply for the required licence. The tenant stopped paying rent 9 months into their tenancy, and they discovered that the property did not have a valid HMO licence. The tenant then applied to the tribunal. The tribunal ordered a rent repayment order of 9 months' rent back to the tenant. In total, just over £7,000 in rent was repaid, and the landlord was unable to claim for any rental arrears. Let's think about how that would make you feel. Financially, that is a massive blow. Let's look at time limits. Tenants must apply within 12 months of the offence. Even if you've not been prosecuted by the council, the tenant can still apply if they can show and prove the offence has happened. They can also apply once they've left the property. Now let's look into the big changes that are coming under the Renters' Rights Bill. Here's what's new. Maximum repayment extended from 12 months to 24 months. Claim window extension, 12 months to 24 months. Repeat offenders, tribunals must order the maximum repayment, no discretions. Liability widened. Superior landlords and even company directors can be liable. Under the Renters' Rights Bill, here are the new offences that could trigger a rent repayment order: misusing possession grounds, continuing a breach after being fined, breaching landlord redress scheme obligations, providing false or misleading information to the PRS and government database, repeated breaches of PRS database requirements, and breach of letting marketing restrictions. Let me give you an example of a landlord breaching restrictions on letting and marketing a property. A landlord owns a property in the area where the local authority has placed restrictions. The property cannot be advertised or let until it meets certain standards, for example, a selective licensing approval, or rectifying hazards identified by the council. Despite the restrictions, the landlord puts the property on Rightmove and Facebook Marketplace. He also accepts holding deposits from prospective tenants. He even signs a tenancy agreement before the approval of the licence is granted. This is a breach of restrictions on marketing and letting. Even if the tenant doesn't go ahead, the act of advertising and offering the property is enough. How landlords can stay safe. The good news is, if you are a responsible landlord, it's not hard to protect yourself. Here's what you need to do. Ensure tenants' documents are kept safe and secure, and if you're storing personal information online, you need to sign up with the ICO. If the council communicates with you, please ensure you respond to them quickly and accurately. Maintain good communication and written records with your tenants. Other ways to limit your risks are: make sure your property is properly licensed if required. You can check your local council website for your area to see if this is applicable. Keep safety checks like gas certificates, electric certificates, fire safety up to date and set alerts for renewals. Give the tenants all required documents at the beginning and throughout the tenancy, like the EPC, how to rent guide, deposit prescribed information, and updated gas certificates, etc. Be truthful and accurate when serving notice or using possession grounds. Have evidence to back up these claims. Join the landlord redress scheme when it becomes mandatory. Keep PRS database entries accurate. Remember, tenants usually only pursue a rent repayment order if they've had a negative experience. So good relationships, good records, and full compliance really does go a long way. We've put together a simple rent repayment order information sheet for our members. This includes current versus new offences, a checklist, and examples of breaches. You can download this information sheet from the link in the comments, or if you have signed up to UK Landlord Network website as a member, you will also find it in the members area. Keep it handy. It's designed to help you avoid costly mistakes. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick knowledge check. Answer these for me. How many months' rent can a tenant currently claim? Under the new bill, what will be the maximum? Give me one example of a new offence under the Renters' Rights Bill. If you are not 100% sure of any of these answers, I would suggest you go over this training again to ensure you get your answers correct. Taking an additional 10 minutes to get it right can save you thousands in the long run. If you have any questions or scenarios you would like to discuss, please drop it in the comments or email hello@uklandlordnetwork.co.uk, where I will put all questions and answers up on the community page of our website at UK Landlord Network. Thank you all for joining this training session on rent repayment orders. To recap, tenants can already claim up to 12 months' rent. The Renters' Rights Bill will double this to 24 months and add new offences. Compliance and transparency are your best protection. Remember, to limit your risk, follow the rules. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to download your free landlord blueprint. This will give you a step-by-step guide from start to finish of the landlord process. Just scan the QR code or visit the website uklandlordnetwork.co.uk. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next training.